It's 2:18 in the morning. The stern of the Titanic is pointing straight up into the sky. You're holding onto the rail with both hands. Below you, people are falling, sliding off the deck like the ship is shaking them loose. You can hear bones hitting metal on the way down. You can hear screaming from the water. Hundreds of voices, all at once. And you feel fine. Steady hands, slow breath, almost bored. You are Charles Joughin, Chief Baker, RMS Titanic. You are the last man alive on this ship. And you are slightly drunk. Let's go back to 2.5 hours, 11:40 p.m. You feel a jolt, not violent, more like a shudder, like someone kicked the hull. You're in the bakery when it happens. You go up to check. An officer tells you the ship has struck an iceberg. You go back to the bakery. You have bread to move. That's your first instinct. Bread. You start passing loaves up to the lifeboats because people are going to need food wherever they end up. You are 5'3". You are built like a barrel. You are a baker from Liverpool and you have seen rough nights before. And this one doesn't feel that different yet. By 12:30 a.m., an officer offers you command of Lifeboat 10. You are entitled to a seat. You turn it down. There are still women on board. You're not getting any boat before them. So you do the next logical thing. You go to your cabin and you pour yourself a drink. Not a small one. You don't know it yet, but that drink and the ones after it are going to be the reason you're still breathing at dawn. For the next hour, you work the boat deck. You're grabbing women by the arm and walking them to the lifeboats. Some of them don't want to go. Some are crying. Some are frozen still, staring at nothing. You don't argue. You don't console. You pick them up and you put them in the boat. One woman pulls back. She doesn't want to leave her husband. You look at her husband. He looks back at you. He nods. You put her in the boat anyway. You go back to the pantry. Another drink. When you come back up, the tilt is worse. The noise is worse. The ship is groaning, deep, low, metallic, like something enormous is being slowly bent in half. Because it is. You walk past an old couple near the stern. The man has his hand on his wife's shoulder. He's telling her to get into a lifeboat. She's shaking her head. "No," she says. "Let me stay with you." You don't stop. You don't have time to stop. You keep moving. You don't know their names. You will never know their names. The last lifeboats leave around 2:05 a.m. You watch them go. You are now one of maybe 100 people still on this ship. Most of them are screaming. Some are praying. Some have already jumped. You hold the rail and you wait. 2:15 a.m. The stern is almost vertical now. The people who couldn't hold on are gone. You can hear them hitting the water far below. Everything that wasn't bolted down has become a projectile. Chairs, bottles, trunks, bodies. You hold on. Then comes the sound. You will never forget the sound for the rest of your life. The Titanic breaks in half. It isn't an explosion. It's slower than that. It's a sound of 1,000 tons of steel giving up. A long, tearing, grinding crack that you feel in your teeth, in your chest, in your spine. The stern lurches. The section you're on begins to right itself for a moment, rises back toward level, and then it goes. You ride it down. The stern drops like an elevator, fast and straight. You step off into the water. You barely get your hair wet. And then the cold hits. Not pain, not at first. More like pressure, like the ocean is pushing in from every direction at once. The water is 28 degrees Fahrenheit, 2 degrees below freezing. Salt is the only reason it's liquid at all. Your skin temperature drops in seconds. Your blood vessels slam shut. Your heart spikes. Your lungs try to gasp. But you don't gasp. You breathe, slow, like a pond, you'll say later. It was just like a pond. All around you, the screaming, hundreds of people in the water. calling out names, calling for God, calling for anyone. You start treading water. Here's what's happening to your body right now that you don't know about. Most people in water this cold are dead in 15 minutes. Cold incapacitation. Your muscles lose function. Your arms stop working. You slip under. Drowning comes before hypothermia even gets a chance. The alcohol in your system should be making this worse. Alcohol dilates blood vessels, bleeds heat faster. You should be dying faster than anyone, but you're not panicking. And that single fact is the only reason you're going to live. Panic burns oxygen. Panic floods your body with adrenaline, makes you thrash, makes your muscles burn through heat in minutes. Every person around you now is fighting the ocean. They are losing. You're not fighting anything. You're just here, in the water, waiting. 20 minutes pass. The screaming starts to thin. 30 minutes. It gets quieter. An hour. Silence. Over 1,500 people just died within earshot of you. You keep treading water. You find a collapsible lifeboat in the darkness. You try to pull yourself on. Someone pushes you off. Too many people. No room. So you hang on to the side, waist deep in water that kills most people in 15 minutes. You hang on for another hour. You are colder in the air than you were fully submerged. You tell them later, the cold was worse out of the water than in it. Nobody believes you. They will never fully believe you. Dawn comes up gray and flat over the North Atlantic. A lifeboat appears on the water, maybe 200 yards away. You let go of the collapsible. You swim to it. 2.5 hours in water that kills in 15 minutes, and you swim. They pull you in. Someone wraps a blanket around you. You don't say much. You don't need to. The lifeboat takes you to the RMS Carpathia. You climb the rope ladder. Your hands are numb. Your legs are barely working. But you climb. On deck, 705 survivors are wrapped in blankets, sitting in silence, staring at nothing. No one is celebrating. No one is relieved. They're just still. Like people whose bodies survived, but whose minds haven't caught up yet. The Carpathia turns toward New York. 3 days, that's how long the journey takes. 3 days on a ship surrounded by the people who made it out and the weight of everyone who didn't. The weather is rough. The sea doesn't care what just happened. You sleep. You eat. You don't talk much. What is there to say? April 18th, evening, New York Harbor. You hear them before you see them. Thousands of people on the docks, standing in the pouring rain, not cheering, waiting, holding photographs, holding signs with names on them, searching every face coming off that ship for someone they recognize. Most of them won't find who they're looking for. The Carpathia docks at Pier 54. The gangway goes down. You walk off a ship for the second time in 4 days. The first time, the ship was the grandest ever built. This time, you are carrying nothing. You have nothing except the clothes on your back and the fact that you are breathing. You think about the 1,500 who didn't make it to this dock. You think about the old couple, the woman who didn't want to leave her husband. You think about the sound the ship made when it broke. And then you walk into New York City, alive, against every odd that existed that night. 1,500 people went into that water. You came back out. 704 other people survived that night. Most of them spent the rest of their lives trying to forget it. Charles Joughin never stopped working at sea. He went back, ship after ship, year after year. The man who survived the Titanic went back to the ocean. 45 years later, he died, far from that night. On his death certificate, under occupation, they wrote one thing: Baker on the Titanic. Subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Mr. Marrow, you're inside it now.